What if I told you? The first 10 minutes of your morning could decide whether your day feels peaceful or completely chaotic. And most people are losing that battle before they even get out of bed. They wake up, grab their phone, scroll through bad news, compare their lives to strangers, and instantly feel stressed. But one simple morning habit has changed lives for generations. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why. Stay with me, because segment 6 contains a story that might completely change how you see your current struggle. Let me ask you something. Have you ever gone to bed saying, "Tomorrow will be different"? You'll wake up early. You'll feel motivated. You'll be productive. You'll stay positive. Then morning comes, and somehow stress beats you before breakfast. Emails, family pressure, financial problems, mental exhaustion, and suddenly your day feels heavy. But here's the truth most people never hear. Your morning is a battlefield, and whoever controls your mind in the morning often controls your entire day. That's why prayer isn't just a religious routine. It's preparation. It's spiritual focus. It's emotional stability. And today, I want to walk you through 8 powerful lessons and stories that reveal why starting your day with God can completely transform your life. And trust me, segment 8 brings everything together in a way you won't expect. A man woke up every day and immediately checked his phone. Bad news, work stress, bank notifications, arguments online. Within 5 minutes, his peace was gone. One morning his grandmother asked, "Have you noticed you give your phone more attention than God?" That hit him hard. The next morning he did something different. No phone. No social media. No distractions. He sat quietly and prayed for 5 minutes. That day wasn't perfect, but his mind felt lighter. And that small habit eventually changed his entire life. But that's nothing compared to what happened in the next story. There was a woman going through one of the hardest seasons of her life. Her marriage was struggling. Bills were piling up. She smiled in public, but cried in private. Every morning before her kids woke up, she sat alone in her kitchen and prayed. Not fancy prayers, just honest ones. "God, I don't know how I'll make it through today." Months later, she said those private moments saved her life. Why? Because prayer gave her strength before life demanded it. And this connects perfectly to what happened to a young student. A college student failed an important exam. His dream career felt over. He stopped praying, stopped believing, stopped trying. Then one morning his father said, "Failure is an event, not your identity." That morning he prayed for the first time in months. He studied harder, stayed disciplined, and 1 year later, he passed and helped others who were struggling too. But success wasn't his biggest victory. His biggest victory was rebuilding his faith. And speaking of faith, what happened in the next story is unbelievable. A man desperately wanted a job opportunity. He prayed for it constantly. Then he got rejected. He was devastated. He thought God ignored him. Months later he discovered that company had massive layoffs. The same job he cried over would have destroyed his finances. That rejection protected him. And this is where most people misunderstand God. Not every closed door is punishment. Sometimes it's protection. But what about health struggles? This next story gets emotional. A mother sat in a hospital hallway. Doctors gave her difficult news about her child. She felt helpless. She couldn't fix anything. So she prayed. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Just quietly. "God, please help my child." Weeks later her child recovered. And she said something unforgettable. The miracle wasn't just healing, it was the peace God gave me while waiting. That line changed many lives. But wait until you hear what happened to this businessman. A man invested everything into his business. Years of work, savings, dreams, and it collapsed. He felt embarrassed, broken. He avoided everyone. One morning he sat in his car and cried before going home. Then he prayed, "God, if this dream is over, show me what's next." Months later he started a completely different business. It became far more successful than the first one. Years later he said, "My biggest failure introduced me to my real purpose." And this next story proves why forgiveness matters too. Two brothers stopped speaking for 7 years after a family argument. Pride kept them apart. One morning during prayer, one brother felt convicted. He picked up the phone. His hands were shaking. He called, and both brothers cried. Their relationship was restored after years of silence. Sometimes the breakthrough you need isn't financial. It's relational. And now, the final story brings everything together. An elderly man was asked how he stayed peaceful despite losing loved ones, facing hardships, and dealing with life's pain. He smiled and said, "Every morning before I talk to anyone, I talk to God." That was his secret. Not money, not success, not perfect circumstances. Daily connection with God. He said, "Life will always be unpredictable. But when your morning begins with God, your heart becomes stable." And honestly, that may be the lesson someone watching this needs today. So right now, before your next stressful morning happens, make this decision. Tomorrow, before social media, before stress, before distractions, choose prayer. Even if it's only 2 minutes. Because small daily prayers create massive long-term change. Your life may not transform overnight, but your mornings can. And changed mornings often create changed lives. Your peace is worth protecting. Your faith is worth building. And your future deserves intentional mornings. If you're committing to start your mornings with prayer, type Amen in the comments. And if you know someone who needs this message today, share this video with them right now. And subscribe, because your next breakthrough message might be one video away.